Hey guys, RPG Nuke here, and today I'm bringing you another video, and today's video is going to be about the brand new DLC in GTA 5, and we're going to be testing the RUINER 2000, or RUINER, whatever you want to call it, RUINER 2000, the car that can jump and shoot guns and missiles. We're going to be seeing how many cars it can actually jump. Now, I was trying this vehicle out in free mode, and I realised I could jump over cars. And I thought this would be a great test to run. I wanted to see how many cars we could jump sideways and lengthways. So this was my lengthways test. It was quite difficult to do. As you can see, I had to keep getting the cars and moving other cars out the way so I could jump over it. A problem that did occur a lot while I was trying to get this test to work was that the cars would keep despawning. And when I come back to it, they would all be gone, and I wouldn't be able to jump over them, and they'd just disappear. Hence why in the video you can see why I keep looking at the cars to make sure they don't despawn. So this was my first test run to just see how many it could jump, and it completely jumped more than I had expected. So roughly in those cars there was about 15-16 of them. And as you can see, it can really easily just jump 16 cars sideways. It can just jump them so easily. So I wanted to test this with the parachute as well. And as you can see, with parachute, you can go miles further. So I thought that it wouldn't be fair to include the parachute as a test in here as well, because, you know, the parachute is just going to make it go even further. And I just want to test the jumping without the parachute. So when I went and did for a second run, I was able to jump over another car that was miles away. So I tried to add up how many cars there would be altogether. So as you can see here, there's a big traffic jam, and I thought, what a great way to test this as well. There's loads of cars stuck together, they're all lengthways. Maybe this is a perfect way to test them, as if it was in an online session. And as you can see, I really easily jumped those cars. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to count how many those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was about 12 cars, I'd say, if you count the trailer as being 2, which I did count as being 2. I decided to count the trailer as being 2 just because the trailer on the back is pretty much the size of a normal car. So then I thought, okay, let's test it again just to make sure this is accurate. So I wanted to jump it again with the parachute, and you can make pretty much the whole of that jam. So that is a lot of jumps. So this car can jump really far. Really, with this car, it's really not expected. Like, you can't really get an exact number of how many cars it will jump, because people may get different results by going at different speeds, different, you know, times when they're jumping. They could jump when they're really close to the car, they could jump when they're quite far back from the car. It all depends on what kind of test you go for. So if you guys want to do a test and challenge it, tag me in it, send it me on Twitter. I'll have a look at your challenges and see how many you've managed to do. Can you do more than what I've managed to do? Now, in terms of this car, of a jumping perspective, if you jump just from standing, you'll go quite high in the air. Obviously, this car has most likely been designed for when you're in like a traffic jam, or when AIs are just being absolute retards. You can just jump straight over them and not have to worry about anything like that. Now, with this car, I would say it's really, really good for in online. You know, people might be trying to shoot at you. No, you can jump in the air and it's going to mess their aim up on you. You've even got a parachute, so you could jump off a cliff and parachute down. Like Mount Chiliad, you could go up to the top of there. You could drive to the edge and just parachute all the way down. That would be actually really fun. And I mean, I'm going to definitely be trying that out and going to be enjoying that. I might even stream some of this at some point, so if you guys want to see anything like that, some streaming with like mods or streaming with this car and stuff, just let me know down below. Now, in terms of should you buy this car, I would say it's worth the buy if you're going to want to jump over AI cars, or you're going to want to be able to get away from people who are trying to shoot at you really easily. It's also worth noting that the car comes with missiles that come in the car, so you can lock onto cops and lock onto other players with the missiles, making the car very OP. However, the car will blow up after 1 to 2 RPG explosives or sticky bomb, whatever you want to use. It even comes with the machine guns on the front, so you can like shoot through the front of the car as if someone was in front of you. Say like, I don't know, someone's running in front of you and you want to just drive into them, you can just shoot the machine gun all over the place. But it doesn't have a very accurate shot with the machine gun, because as you're shooting it, it will just spray upwards, as you can see on screen now. It just sort of sprays upwards a bit when you try and shoot. So it may not be the best for taking out enemies, and I wouldn't recommend running into someone with an insurgent with this car. For pricing, the car is priced from 4,320,000 to 5,745,000, depending on whether you've completed the mission or not completed the mission. Now, is this pricing worth it? Well, really, that all comes down to you and what you want from the car. The car is quick and fast, which is a good thing, but there are definitely cars out there that are much quicker. So if you're going for a car just for speed, you might want to look into a different car. This car also has got the missiles that I mentioned earlier. Now, this could be handy for you if you're trying to escape cops, or you get cops a lot, or other players are just, trying to keep killing you, and you can go and just kill them with one missile shot and drive off and be left to peace. You may also want this car because it's got the parachute, and the parachute will obviously always come in handy if you're ever going off a cliff, you don't want to crash your car, and you want to keep your car nice and clean and not as many dents and stuff. I'm not sure, I'm not really like that. I don't mind whether I crash my car or not, as you can see in the video. But if you're one of those people who loves to keep your car just nice, and you don't want anything crashing into it, and you get really butthurt if someone does crash into it, this could be the car for you, because you can just jump over things that are going to try and hurt your car. You can jump off cliffs and land perfectly and nicely. But yeah, the pricing, it is expensive, but I'd say it is worth the money, but I wouldn't buy it as the buy now price. I'd buy it as the discounted price for 4,320,000, because nearly 6 million, I definitely don't think nearly 6 million is worth it for this car. I'd say 4 million is about worth it for this car, for what it can do, as it can shoot other players and it can be quite OP, meaning that you could just go around. It's like going around with an insurgent, except with this one, people can lock onto you and destroy your car very easily. Well, that sort of concludes my review for how many cars can this jump, and should you buy this car. With this car, I would definitely say, yes, buy it if you have the money. If you don't have the money, save your money for another DLC, or save your money for when the new content is added a bit later on. Or even buy a CEO if you haven't already, because like I say, you can't buy any of the vehicles in the war stock until you've got a CEO warehouse and CEO like export and import garage, and that you need that first before you will be allowed to buy these vehicles and store them. So if you don't have one of them, buy them and then have another look and see if you want it. Also, in the garages you can even store normal vehicles from Legendary Motorsport, so it's not like it would be a waste of money. And with that, I would like to thank you all for watching my video. If you have enjoyed, a like rating would mean the world to me, and subscribe if you're new. Peace.
Very moist and succulent. Today we're going to be doing a reaction, and I'm with RPG Noob Q.
Shut the actual fuck up.
He's a shitty YouTuber. I think he only has 22 subs, because everyone fucking